Hey everybody, Paul Angelo here, founder of the Big Gay Family social program for personal transformation and deep social immersion with friendships and relationships. Those of you who are not part of the Big Gay Family, check it out and see for yourself. It may be exactly what you're looking for. Visit biggayfamily.com. In this video, you will learn how to come unstuck from a very common trap that gay men enter into. Most men enter into this trap and stay in it, sometimes for the rest of their life, and struggling in friendships, struggling in relationships, and not knowing where the real challenge occurs, where the real problem lies. So in this video, we're going to unpack this, and you will discover how to come unstuck from this challenge, or how to come unstuck from this trap of this unconscious pattern of repeating things that don't work, repeating things that will never work, but yet we stay in it and we persist and we try to force something that will never happen because it's not meant to happen this way. What I'm talking about here is the trap of saying to yourself, I want a relationship. It's a trap because most men that want a relationship don't have a relationship. Why is it that way, that we want something so bad and we don't have it? And I think the awakening has to start with recognizing that on some deeper level, we actually don't want a relationship. A great exercise that I would invite you to do is to now close your eyes and say quietly to yourself, I actually don't want a relationship. I don't want a relationship. Say that to yourself quietly. How does that make you feel? Most people will experience a certain release or relief of some energy that was trapped. Because if your body, if your unconscious mind doesn't want a relationship, it doesn't matter what you consciously want. It doesn't matter what you consciously say. Your unconscious mind, your subconscious will always win. And if there are obstacles programmed by mom and dad, or by shame, or by social conditioning that relationships for men are bad, it doesn't matter that you say, I want a relationship. It doesn't matter. It won't work. And in turn, what will happen is because you have that knowing inside of you, that voice, I want a relationship, I want a relationship, and then you're going out and you're not creating one, there's this tremendous amount of frustration and criticism and judgment, and sometimes even anger that's building up inside of us. To come out of this trap, we want to accept ourselves that maybe on some deeper level, we don't want a relationship. Maybe on some deeper level, you don't want a relationship. Now, what you're feeling right now, and this is an important distinction, what you're feeling is the need for closeness, which every human being needs. We need to be around other people very closely for validation, for learning, for a lot of work with consciousness. We need to be around other people so that we can connect to them, we can understand them, and by understanding them, we understand ourselves. A lot of complex, cerebral, cognitive, mental, whatever you call it, a lot of these processes happen when we are around each other. So we have that never-ending need that will never go away to want to be around other people. So that need is always going to be there, and that's what you may be feeling all the time when you're lonely or when you are by yourself for an extended amount of time. You feel that desire to be around another person. That's very normal, and that's actually very healthy. We need to be around other people often. The second thing is about that wanting to create a container for a relationship, and that's a separate thing. Because if you say to me, I want this, this, and that, I say to you, my reply to you is, okay, what are you doing to get there? And in this video, I wanted to share with you an example of a man. So this is one of my clients who, when he says, I want a relationship, he actually is moving ahead, creating these relationships and succeeding in them. So that you have a contrast between a statement, I want a relationship, that is this general statement that everybody has, versus I want a relationship, and actually following up with behaviors, with actions, with new ways of thinking to actually get into that relationship, which is what you want, which is what we all want. So a man who sincerely desires and wants a relationship, and he says to himself, I want a relationship, Paul, then he would do the following. He would probably put himself in social settings as often as possible. Throughout the month, throughout 6 months, throughout the year. He would go out consistently to multiple networking events. He would also avoid the Grinders, the Craigslist, the Scruffs, the Growlers, all the apps that are based on this impersonal connectivities and sex and objectification and hookups. That person that wants a relationship, he would stay away from all of that. Not continue to stay in the space of sex and objectification and hookups if he sincerely wants a relationship. So instantly, if you say to yourself, I want a relationship, but you are in the space of hookups, in the space of sex, then we know there's something off, that you don't really want a relationship. You're playing a little game with yourself, right? When somebody says, when this man that we're talking about here, when he says, I want a relationship, and he really truly means it, and he's sincere about it, he will treat every man that he meets with a lot of respect and even challenge himself to bring more excellence to the process of very healthy, sincere, respectful, genuine, and loving dating. Let me ask you, when was the last time that you said to yourself, you know what? I'm gonna go on a date with this man and I'm gonna make it the best experience, the most loving, caring experience for this man, so that at the end of this date, he will want to be around me. Not because of sexual compatibility, but because of the way I make him feel, the way I respect him, and the fact that he senses it. Because behind the scenes, I'm putting a lot of effort into it. How many people really say that to themselves? Have you thought about it that way? When you go on a date, when you meet other people, that you're gonna really put everything into the right place to make the experience very successful, right? Most people don't think about it that way. For some reason, relationships, love, and dating somehow became exempt from excellence, from high standard. And so that's why many of us say to ourselves, we want a relationship, but then we have this mediocre approach, we really never get anywhere. And we keep struggling, yet the struggle becomes more complex because internally we say to ourselves, we want a relationship. But in reality, we don't. We just play a little game. We just throw ourselves into the dating space. We force ourselves into the relationship space. And because we force ourselves, it never works. Because on the inside, we don't want a relationship. On the inside, you don't want a relationship. And so the starting point is for you to accept yourself, that you may say the following to yourself: I accept myself, even though I don't want a relationship. I accept myself. I accept my need for a relationship, but I also accept that I don't want one. And you will notice something about that that is very, very honest, very sincere, very earnest, right? Something really deeply accurate, that on some deeper level you don't want a relationship. And then what you will notice the following day, you will start realizing that, hey, there are other ways that you can date, there are better ways you can meet people, there are better ways you can say, better words you can say to them. You can follow up via phone call as opposed to texting. You can follow up consistently. You can maybe one day offer something to take somebody out to dinner, lunch, movies, or whatever. So the idea is that if we keep saying to ourselves, we want a relationship, I want a relationship, and if you're not producing a relationship, it means secretly you don't want it. Same thing with money, same thing with health. You know, people want to lose weight and they never do. Why not? Because on the inside, they never want to lose weight. Some people say, I want $1 million, and they never make that money. Why? Because on the inside, they never want to make that money. They don't have a process, they don't have a sense of excellence and sense of real hard effort and work to make that $1 million. And so in relationships, the same way. As men, especially as men, we fall into this trap because social conditioning is that love is for women, and so we inherit that, and we struggle twice as much in relationships as men because we have this half-assed approach, because men's never supposed to be in love, love is for women, thereby who's going to really put a lot of effort into relationship? You would have to be crazy to be like a woman and love another man. That's the attitude out there for gay men. Especially in very conservative circles, where the masculinity is actually preventing you from admitting to yourself that a relationship is good for you, that you should do whatever is necessary to create one. And so people struggle, and they have this half-ass approach to relationships and friendships, and many years, many decades pass by, they don't even know that internally they don't want a relationship. So there's this conflict. It's called an inner conflict, or some people say it's conflict between two parts. One part of you which recognizes the value of relationships and recognizes the benefit of it, the desires that are related to it. But another part says, no, relationships are bad for you. Love is for women. Love is not for men. And so there's this clash. And the way to resolve this clash is to accept that on some level you don't want a relationship. Accept that part of you that doesn't want a relationship. Accept that part of you that's needy, that wants a relationship. And now ask both of them to come together and say, okay, I recognize that there's this conflict. How do we step out of it? How do we create that relationship? What kind of effort do I have to put into it? What's stopping me from the effort? What am I telling myself that's stopping me from putting effort? Am I waiting for the other person to do it first? Am I waiting for the 50-50 split of effort? The person that truly wants a relationship will do 95% effort. Same thing with money. The person that wants $1 million will do 95% of that effort. With health, losing weight the same way. You will have to say to yourself, I will do 95% of the effort. Not waiting for somebody else or something else to land in our life, to produce whatever energy, whatever mindset is necessary to get the result that you want. So in closing in this video, I'm inviting you to catch yourself. Catch yourself. Do you say, I want a relationship, but you're not having one? And then can you become aware of the fact that maybe underneath it, the reason why you don't have one is because you don't want a relationship? So correct it. Say to yourself, okay, I guess over the past 3 years, I said to myself, I wanted one, but in reality, I don't want one. Notice how that makes you feel. And then wait a couple days. And then reintegrate yourself into the awareness of what it means to really want a relationship and try out different approaches. One thing I recommend to everybody who's serious about friendships and relationships is to join the Big Gay Family program, because it's a social program for deep immersion, deep interactions, consistent, all the time, and different men. So it's a wonderful way to practice, to really to understand what about your approach is not working. And there's no better way to do it than in real practice with real people. Not in the fantasy land and not waiting for others to tell you what it is. You can find out really quickly by immersing yourself in the social program with Big Gay Family. So visit biggayfamily.com to check that out. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. For more videos on the topic of gay sexuality, gay psychology, working with gay consciousness, please visit my website at paulangelo.com. I look forward to talking to you in the next video, and until then, my friends, go out there, think big, stay present, be a leader in your life today. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you soon. Hey, this is Paul. I hope you enjoyed watching this video. For more videos like these, please subscribe to my channel, share this video with your friends, and until I talk to you in the next video, as always, go out there, think big, stay present, and be a leader in your life today. Thanks for watching. I'll talk to you soon.